A high school graduate working in a ramen shop? You're destined to be a loser for life.
I can't say I wasn't shocked by her words, but I become so used to it that I just nodded and said yes. My name is Daki Kawaramura, and I'm 28 years old. After graduating from high school, I took over my grandfather's ramen restaurant, Umamiya Ramen. People think that it's reckless for a high school graduate to run a ramen restaurant, but I didn't care what people thought. I remember being impressed by my grandfather's work when I was 6 years old and coming to this ramen restaurant. Welcome! This is the path I have chosen, so I have decided to work hard with confidence that no one can beat me. At the restaurant, not only regular customers from my grandfather's generation, but also people of all ages, from businessmen to students with their parents, come to eat. But a problem arose. Sugimoto Airi, who joined as a part-timer. She's a university student who goes to a famous university. At first, I thought she was just an ordinary girl. But when she found out I was a high school graduate, her attitude completely changed. She suddenly became very rude.
I can't believe it! A high school graduate working at a ramen shop means you'll be a loser for life! Hey, Airi, don't say things like that in the shop. It's not just about the shop, you're being so mean to Daiki. What? It's true, isn't it? It's your fault that you ended up with such a lowly final academic achievement. You think that kind of attitude is okay?
It was always Sakurai Misaki who defends me. She started out as a student worker, but now she's a full-time employee here. She's a veteran staff member who's known as the face of the restaurant now. Alright, that's enough. If we get into a bad mood, it'll bother the customers. I ended the conversation and told Airi to go and take the order. Airi gave a humph, and Misaki and I both sighed.
That girl doesn't change.
I shudder to think that she'll be a working adult.
I'll always support you, Daiki. I think it's amazing that you can make such delicious ramen.
Thank you, Misaki. Misaki has been a source of airing for me in the shop. For her bright smile and her friendly service, I think this restaurant wouldn't be able to survive without her. One day, when the spring breeze was pleasant, Misaki was excitedly spreading out an article about a local city.
Daiki, please take a look at this. This is the article from the other day's interview.
Wow, that's amazing! That was an article from an interview I did the other day. It was a local magazine, but I thought it would be good publicity for the restaurant, so I agreed to do it. I looked at the article Misaki had brought me. There, the name and photos of my ramen shop were printed, and it also said that my ramen shop was well received by the local people.
Getting so happy just because it's in a local magazine? Your hurdle for happiness seems so low. Don't say that, Airi! If it was a top-class gourmet magazine, that would be one thing, but it's just a local magazine that only old people read. Airi!
As usual, Airi doesn't listen to Misaki's words.
I mean, Misaki, you always get worked up to things about Daiki. I like this restaurant and I support Daiki. Maybe you like him. You should stop. You'll only make things harder for yourself in the future. That's not true. We're just friends. Yeah, right.
One Sunday, it was lunchtime, and the restaurant was filled with a lively atmosphere. I was in the kitchen making ramen and taking orders.
Who the hell do you think you are?
I rushed out into the shop since I heard some shouts. Is there some kind of trouble? I rushed over to see what the problem was, and I saw Airi being yelled at by an old lady. Airi was unperturbed, and she was folding her arms and looking upset. What happened? Airi didn't answer, but the old lady opened her mouth. The old lady is well known in the neighborhood for being difficult, but she's never caused trouble before.
What's wrong with her customer service? It's completely different from Misaki's, even though she's young too. Her service is the worst!
I'm sorry for making you feel uncomfortable. I'm sorry. My apology echoes around the shop. She's still new and is still learning. I'm sorry for my lack of guidance.
I understand, but if this attitude continues, I won't hold back. I've liked this place since the previous owner. Don't let me down.
With that, the old woman began slurping her ramen. Airi sighed deeply and started walking towards the back. I chased after her to talk to her. Are you okay?
This is why I hate low-educated people.
Are you not satisfied with saying it to me? Are you treating your customers like that too?
They're customers, so they should just eat the ramen they're served quietly. They're poor people who can only come to a place like this anyway.
Airi didn't seem to be sorry at all. On the contrary, she got angry and even dissed me. If this restaurant doesn't suit you, you can look for another place. Airi glared at me.
You probably don't know this, but university is expensive. I don't have time to look for another restaurant now. That's right, it's their fault that I'm going through this. I'm the one who has to suffer because they're not educated.
It seems that Airi's anger was directed at someone else.
Wearing work clothes and working after graduating high school is so low. I won't go down the same path.
From what I can gather, it seems that Airi's parents graduated high school and are probably struggling to pay for her tuition. It's wonderful that she's working to pay for her tuition, but that's a different story. I won't deny your feelings, but customers aren't just here to eat ramen. Treat the customers who have chosen this restaurant with care. But responding to my words, Airi left work soon after. Thanks to that, the restaurant was in a panic. I worked with Misaki to manage the restaurant somehow. Today was awful.
It was tough, wasn't it? Thank you for your hard work.
You too. I'm glad you're here to help.
I like this restaurant. The noodles are delicious, and I love working at a ramen restaurant with someone I like.
What?
Nothing! I forgot. I had plans. Excuse me.
Before I could get the truth out of her, Misaki left in a fluster. Did I hear wrong? After that day, Airi didn't seem to have reflected on her behavior, and her arrogant attitude was even more noticeable. It hurt Misaki and me too, but we couldn't keep following her around all the time when we were busy. While we were looking away, she was giving customers terrible service. Excuse me, I got the wrong order.
What? You think I made a mistake? I'm just bringing you what you ordered.
The customer started eating the ramen in silence with a dissatisfied look on his face. Airi didn't admit to her mistake, and she didn't change her arrogant attitude towards the customer. There's no way people would be happy about that. Customers who were dissatisfied with Airi's attitude began to complain to me and Misaki about her attitude. We had no choice but to apologize profusely. One day, the ramen restaurant was bustling with customers. Then suddenly, the shop phone rang. Airi picked up the phone. I thought it was a rare occurrence, but then she came over to me.
The old lady called and complained that the 50 ramen she ordered hadn't arrived.
This is what they call a bolt out of the blue. I didn't receive any such order, but the fact that she called is true. I called Misaki and the other part-timers and quickly made some ramen. Use those noodles. They don't stretch easily. I put the noodles for delivery in a separate container. Put the soup in a separate container.
Yes, I understand.
Masaki and the other employees quickly responded to my instructions and ran around the kitchen. As they did so, I noticed that Airi was yawning in the restaurant, which was almost empty.
That's right! I told them I'd deliver it within 30 minutes. You're the one who should be dealing with that, so you should thank me.
30 minutes?! I hurried to prepare the ramen and went out to deliver it. It had already been past an hour. When I arrived at the old lady's house, she said something unbelievable.
I didn't order that!
I was confused, but I checked the order details again. And at that moment, a surprising fact jumped out at me. The ramen she ordered contained ingredients that the old lady didn't like. I was in such a rush that I hadn't noticed. Is it a prank? Who would ever do something like this? I decided to distribute the large amount of leftover food to my neighbors in order to not let it go to waste. I don't know who did it, but I can't afford to waste any more time. I hurriedly called my grandfather and asked him to set up a tent so that the neighbors could enjoy the ramen outside. Grandpa, we have 50 leftover ramen and we want to give it to the neighbors. But there's nowhere for them to eat it outside. Can you set up a tent?
Leave it to me. I'll get on it.
When my grandfather arrived with some of his friends, a large tent was set up in the spacious garden of the grandmother's house, and many people had gathered. As I watched the smiling people enjoying the ramen and chatting with each other, I felt a sense of true peace. Thank you so much, Grandpa.
I'll always be there to help you. Keep up the good work.
With a sense of gratitude in my heart, I went back to the tent. As I watched the people from the neighborhood enjoying the ramen with smiles on their faces, I let out a sigh of relief. And then, Airi appeared.
Eating ramen here is so tacky.
The people around her started to get irritated by Airi's words, and a bad atmosphere began to spread.
You shouldn't behave like that.
Huh? But it's true! Eating ramen outside is so tacky and poor.
Oh, I'm sorry for the delay. I work for Hanjo Kogyo Company. I think your words were a little rude.
Hanjo Kogyo Company is the company she always said she wanted to join.
You're probably just cleaning staff or something. It's so stupid. I'm going home.
I do some cleaning from time to time, but I'm the chairman.
Airi, who had her back turned, stopped dead in her tracks. She turned around and looked at my grandfather with an expression of disbelief.
I'm basically retired since I handed over the company to my son, though.
No way! Excuse me?
Airi bowed deeply and left as if running away. After that, the story about the free ramen being offered spread on social media, and my ramen shop became the center of attention. Because of the buzz, I was asked if I would like to enter the Comfort Food Grand Prix.
Daiki, this is a great opportunity!
Opportunities like this don't come along very often.
Good morning, Daiki.
Airi's attitude left me speechless. Airi, who doesn't even say hello, said that cheerfully.
I saw the social media post, and you're also entering the Comfort Food Grand Prix, right? That's amazing!
As I thought, this change in attitude has something to do with my grandfather.
And I wanted to help you out.
What's wrong with you? You're acting so strange all of a sudden.
If you're grandfather and father of the chairman and president of Hanjo Kogyo Co., then I'll have to make a name for myself. Daiki, this is for my future.
What kind of reason is that? You've always been making fun of Daiki. I won't allow that.
Thanks, Misaki. Ari, if you want to do it, then go ahead and try. On the day of the contest, it was just Ari and I who entered the competition, but Ari was just standing around, and her lack of ability was exposed. Even though she was only taking orders, I didn't think that they would be this bad. I knew this would happen though. I finished the dish while sighing. We made it just in time. It was time for the judges to give their evaluations and announce the rankings.
The winner of this year's contest is...
The audience fell silent, and the tension rose. The judge continued.
Congratulations to Funawari!
The audience applauded loudly, and the staff of the winning restaurant beamed with joy.
And in second place, Manzoko Shokoto.
Damn.
And in third place is Umamiya Ramen. Congratulations!
I didn't even try to hide my childish smile. I made a victory pose. For some reason, Ari is also looking proud, but I've decided not to worry about it. As we were about to break up and go separate ways, my grandfather called out to me.
You worked hard, Daki.
Thanks, Grandpa. Did I get your taste down?
You're one step away from it becoming my taste.
Harsh words.
By the way, you said you wanted to be in our company, didn't you, Ari?
Yes, I do.
Unlike before, my grandfather stares at Ari with cold eyes.
But it seems that you don't fit the basic philosophy of our company.
What? Wait a second. What do you mean?
From my generation, our company has always put harmony with the local community and the public interest first. But your actions and way of thinking seem to be at odds with that philosophy.
Ari was shocked by my grandfather's words, but quickly tightened her lips and tried to explain herself.
But I...
You don't need to say any more. I don't want you to come to the company.
Ari was at a loss for words and looked at my grandfather with a confused expression. And you don't need to come to our store either. I understand now that we don't need you. Ari was stunned and looked at me, but I didn't say another word.
No way! That's unfair dismissal!
I checked. The call you picked up where we received 50 orders was a lie, wasn't it? Our shop's phone has a recording function. There was no record of the call from the old lady. Ari was biting her lip. Normally, I would demand compensation, but I'll let it go out of pity. When she heard my words, Ari ran away. A few weeks had passed since Ari quit a job at the ramen restaurant. She had started looking for a new job, but it didn't seem to be going well. She wasn't even called for interviews, and even after submitting her resume, she didn't get a single response.
Why? I'm a university graduate!
Then one day, Ari even lost her place to live. The owner of the apartment building she lived in was that difficult old woman.
Get out of my apartment, too!
Why? Why?
Ari cried and returned to her room and she barricaded herself in for a while. But I heard that the removal company arranged by the old woman forced her to leave. Welcome! After Ari was gone, the atmosphere in the shop returned to its usual calm. Customers with smiles on their faces sat at the counter, and everyone looked satisfied. Masaki pulled on my clothes timidly.
I've been meaning to say this, but...
I waited for her to say it.
Daiki, I actually liked you for a long time.
When I heard her voice, my heart started pounding and my face relaxed.
Is that not okay?
I like you too, Masaki. You always supported me so hard. Masaki's face lit up. Since then, my grandfather has been coming to the store more often, and he's been giving me advice and telling me what's wrong with my work. But thanks to that, I've been able to improve even more. After the store closed, Misaki and I were tidying up. I'm so happy.
Why all of a sudden?
Misaki said with a smile. I'm so happy I'm with you.
Me too. I'm happy.
I found my place in the world, and I'm living a happy life with the people I love. I'm determined to keep this happiness and continue to grow. And with that determination in my heart, I held Masaki's hand with a smile.
Wasn't that lovely? Like and subscribe for more videos. See you again!